Welcome back, guys, to more creepy TikToks, and let's dive in.
Am I crazy or is this Squishmallow moving? I just got to Showcase and I was just shopping in the Squishmallow section, and tell me if I'm insane, but I was looking at these Hello Kitty Squishmallows and this one right here is literally moving. Look at this. Is anyone seeing this right now?
Taking her with me when I move, so if any of you are interested in that doll, please let me know, because I don't want to keep her, but I'd like her to go to a good home. I mean, if there's somebody out there that's interested. I don't... Did that thing just move?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
¿Huevo? ¿Sí?
I would probably get done for attempted murder, but I would throw that baby doll face straight out that window, no questions.
Ah! Tiger shark! Tiger shark ran me!
Sometimes you learn your lesson, sometimes you need a lesson learnt, and in this case, this guy will probably never take a kayak back out in the ocean again.
They've all just come out of that cloud over there and set off like Billy-o over there. Surely that's not on. There's 7 planes there in a row. Putin's here. If you look in front, they look like they're following a track. Look at this, boys. They're following a track.
How is it that when people see a multitude of planes go in one direction, they still refuse to believe in chemtrails? It just doesn't make sense. You know, this morning we took our wee one to school and it was sun-spit in the trees. Now I could see, you know, that there was chemtrails being spread. So by the time we got back, the whole sky was grey.
There are CIA documents that tell you how to contact people telepathically, heal parts of your body using your mind, and remember forgotten memories. And all of the instructions for these live in a document that was declassified in 2003 called the Gateway Intermediate Workbook.
So I got all 29 pages from the Gateway Intermediate Workbook. Pause to read.
You can download the PDF through the CIA.gov site. Just type in Gateway Intermediate Workbook and it'll be the first link you'll see. But for those of you who didn't read through all of that, essentially what it is here, it says a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left.
America and the UK, it's time to pay attention. You know how China is ahead of us in a lot of stuff? This is Hong Kong. These are cage houses, cage homes, coffin homes, whatever you want to call them. And this is what happens when the cost of living gets so high that landlords get so greedy and they start turning 1-bedrooms into 9 little cage homes. This is my prediction for the USA and for the UK. This is what's next. You know, China's always ahead of us and they do things before us by sometimes 10, 20 years. Well, this is the future. If you allow your governments and your systems to keep raising the rent and raising the interest rates and blasting inflation, we will end up in these are like 3-foot by 6-foot homes. People are paying reportedly about $300 per month, no bigger than a prison cell, actually probably smaller than a prison cell. You'd probably be better off in prison. This is the future. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it'll get this bad?
That's not right. You know, they're humans living like caged animals. I mean, if it never got that bad for all of us, I can tell you this, I would not be caged up like an animal. I would live in the forest quicker. You see, if we had more balloons like him, there'd be less traffic because he's terrible at what he does.
And touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, baby.
I honestly couldn't tell you if Kim Jong-un looked sus, if he looked guilty, or if he just thought he was caught red-handed.
The UK government have just announced that the retirement age will be raised to 80 for anyone.
You cannot convince me these people are not working with the Antichrist. This is like some devilish plot thought up by the most evil of evil. They are working with the Antichrist because what do you mean work till you're 80? 18 till you're 80. You're in school from like when you're 5 to 18, and then from 18 to 21 you're at university, and then from 21 onwards you're working until you're 80 years old. Wallahi billah tallahi, capitalists are working with the child. The Antichrist, they are working with him.
I'm sorry, but all I heard was greed, corruption, and finding ways not to pay people their pensions so they can pocket the money themselves. I mean, Kim and Putin, you must feel ashamed about the UK here, do you?
Grocery stores are spraying our organic produce with pesticides, antibiotics, and even preservatives. This is a substance called Produce Max that they spray on all of the organic produce, and it's so toxic that it legally cannot be thrown into a trash can. It has to be disposed of in a special way. It's deemed as safe in small dosages by the FDA, but as we know, that doesn't mean that it's actually safe in small dosages. It's essential that we start buying our produce from farmers markets.
I haven't noticed this over here in the UK, to be honest, but if it was my guess, I would say that over in America, it's probably Monsanto, because they just love to put their grubby hands into everything that's poisonous, you know?
The wall charger plugged in there. Reading power. The phone here. Not reading any power on it. Plug it in. Oops. Got power running all through it. You see your, no, work careful. You see your hand? Turn your hand over. Okay, don't hold on yet. Let me see your hand. Turn it over. Okay, now hold her hand. Let go. Okay, do it on your own. Okay, let go. Touch her face.
I used to have my phone in charge every single night and then just scroll through it and use YouTube for hours on end. I haven't done it in years, but what I want to know here is, you know, the wee ones, what level of radiation is emitting from them, you know?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the President of the United States. Looking completely lost. Has no clue what he's doing. Doesn't even look like he has a soul in the body there. Look at him.
Look, I understand that he's a child sniffer and that he loves to lure wee ones to his ice cream van, but at the same time, you kind of have to feel sorry for him. You know, we all knew or know someone who's going through that themselves, and it does take a toll on family, for sure, you know, but he looks as white as a ghost.
You are looking at real footage from the Monroe Institute's investigations into dream telepathy. The Monroe Institute was founded in 1978 by Robert Monroe. The Institute pioneered the exploration of altered states of consciousness, notably through their patented HemiSync technology. This technology utilized binaural beats to synchronize brainwaves, facilitating the induction of altered states, the same type of brain states that are conducive to dream telepathy. According to their published results, the Monroe Institute was able to achieve communication through dreaming participants. Dream telepathy is a phenomenon where two or more people share information, thoughts, or emotions during the dream state without using conventional communication methods. Before sleeping, the participants were given specific instructions to attempt to transmit or receive during their dreams a target image, symbol, or message. This experiment was so successful that even mainstream academia now accepts it as a possibility.
So this is going to sound strange, but it's on subject but off subject. But I actually became saved through like a dream or a vision. I don't know which one it was. You know, I was laying in bed one night and all of a sudden, bang, I was in this place, and even today it's still like a fresh memory. But that's how it got saved. I will share it with you guys at some stage. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that for some weird reason. Some of those photos were disturbing, but for me, the Mickey Minnie and the Humpty Dumpty, I don't know why, but that's just terrifying to me. Yeah, I honestly don't think all those bodies were ancient there, to be honest, you know. But the line of bodies that you're seeing, that's pretty much us in the UK still waiting to get into retirement. I felt that one, to be honest. Let's just hope he saved all his contacts and his photos.
Look. Look,
wire,
Look.
right, that goes up
look the nail
to a
over
knife
there.
system. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dude, that'll
look
kill
there.
somebody,
Look
bro.
what's in there, the knife. Right there, right there. See the wire?
You don't see the knife up there?
Right here, you see this wire going over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's going right through your heart.
It's on a f***ing crutch with a knife.
How'd you catch that?
Oh.
See this ring? So they put some the broken glass over here. You know, so when yeah.
You send this
I
one.
think it's good where you trip it. Stop at the
Yeah.
bottom of the step.
You think?
Yeah.
What is it?
At the step.
Oh!
Shit, look at that fucking thing. Yo, that would fucking straight up killed you right in your fucking head, dude. What's this house? This house ain't.
Look at that.
That is insane.
Yo, coming right through
Yo,
your
that
head.
thing's got bodies.
Look at
on
this.
it.
Look at this.
Yo, that's right in your fucking
No,
head.
no,
bro.
no. Hold on. You need to stop more. You need to step off.
Yo, that would have got you right in your fucking neck.
Oh my God! Right in his head.
No, my heart. Yo, you got
My head. Because, yo, by the time you're gonna.
That is wild. I mean, you need to be careful when you're out and about exploring, but honestly, there's some psychos in this world, like.
Hey. Hello, sir. How are you doing today? Good. How you doing, man? And how are you doing today? No pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet both. You got my stuff, huh? You, man. And this is for you, sir. All right. And this is a tip for you. I know it's all been paid. Thank you so much. Do you mind if you? Thank you, sir.
What's your name?
My name is David Johnson.
Good to see you, David.
Thank you, sir.
You know Her Honor the Mayor.
Okay.
How are you, David?
I'm fine. Yourself? I voted for both of you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a tip for you. I know it's all been paid.
Thank you so much. Put your hand. What you got her? Of course. I need somebody to bring me a yogurt. Give me a yogurt. Doesn't matter which one.
Take that box. I'm gonna go order milk. Yeah.
I understand that they might set things up for security reasons, but you know, Turkey Neck Joe giving him that tip was like the most insincere thing I've seen, and he probably only gave the poor guy a dollar or something, you know.
Strange things that used to be normal. Human zoos. Human zoos displayed non-Western people for the entertainment of Western people, sending kids through the mail. Mailing children was a common thing in some parts of the world. being ugly was illegal. If you were deemed too ugly to be in public, you had to pay a fine of $1 to $50 or go to an insane asylum for poor people, body part collector. They collected human bones and bragged about them. Women had no voting rights. In 1918, women were protesting for 2 years to be able to have voting equality. Children were forced to work. Almost 1 million kids aged 10 to 15 were working full-time jobs. People smoked everywhere. People would smoke in hospitals, schools, and even churches.
Am I the only person who didn't know about the human zoo thing? Because that is straight up evil, like it really is. For those of you who don't know, SEAP just means Scottish Environmental Protection Agency. But first of all, the guy should have put on some gloves because he doesn't even know what the hell he's touching. It's literally hazardous material. The fact that the NHS just dumped that out like it was nothing just shows the level of corruption that's within our system.
The U.S. government just released, apparently by accident, the Project Aqua stuff. Did you see this?
No. What's that? Retrieving data across dimensional space-time, develop remote viewing comms and countermeasures, determine baseline for physical transport across dimensional space-time barrier, rapid response medical teams for UFO interaction events. So how did they do this accidentally? Study conscious interactions with and control of technology.
So I got this from someone in the U.S. government who's well, look, let me just start by saying that, I don't know anything. But he sent me this. The above is 100% legit. I was read into this program, but told never to tell anyone. It's now been released. As you can see, it began as a result of my old program, AATIP. I signed a document saying I would never talk about Kona Blue and similar efforts. I can't believe the AARO would have released it. Look,
yeah.
I mean, here's what we do know is that there's enough going on in the skies, but not just the skies, underwater, that the U.S. military has been forced to respond to it. So, like, move aircraft from one place to another because there are too many of these objects in the sky. That's actually happened. Chris Mellon just wrote a long piece about it. So it's real. The government is not controlling it. In fact, it's forcing the government, DOD, to respond. And we know that there is a real effort and has been underway for a long time to keep the public from knowing about it. But that's all known. That's established. I don't think any rational person would deny that. The question is, like, what is it, actually? I mean, now is sort of the point where you have to ask, like, what is this?
For many of us, we already know what it is. The funny thing about it is with CERN and the Large Hadron Collider, since they've been, active since like 2015 or so, there's been a lot more activity in the skies and there's been a lot more people being able to capture stuff and see stuff. But for many of us, we already know that it's demons and we understand that they're going to play a huge role in the end times. And it just feels like every year, slowly and surely, they're trying to usher it in for us to become kind of desensitized to it. So when it does happen, then it's not going to be as a great of a shock to the system,
A producer said to me, "Take your off." And I said no. And I left, and they told me they were going to burn all my music. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop asking me, and then I just froze and I I don't even remember. I felt full-on pain. Then I went numb. And then I was sick for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after. And I realized that it was the same pain that I felt when the person who me dropped me off pregnant on a corner, my parents' house, because I was vomiting, because I'd been being abused. I was locked away in a studio.
I know many of us tend to refer celebrities to like witches and Satanists and that kind of thing, but some of them are human, you know, and it doesn't matter how human you are, it's unacceptable on every level to be going through what she just talked about, you know. That's all I have for you today, guys, but there will be one more final clip added at the end of the video. But if you did enjoy this compilation, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe button, and tick on the notification bell. And until the next video, guys, please look after yourselves, stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you then.
Yannick Bertrand. Oh, the gate to the groin for Yannick Bertrand, and you could hear it.